Are you an aficionado of the tiny keyboard? Are you in need of keycap for that tiny keyboard? Well, today we are going to seek and see what group buys are available so that a year and a half, maybe, it's good to expect delays, your tiny keyboard will be outfitted with keycap and all will be well. So stay tuned. Well, here we are with episode 2 of Is It 40 Friendly, where keyboard degenerates such as ourselves who are into the tiny keyboards, such as this one. Wait, that's not right. Nope, that's not right either. There we go. That's just the one I actually type on. Check to see how the keycap coverage is for the currently running group buys. So we can shop with a little more confidence and be a little less disappointed maybe while we're looking through these keycap sets. Now, I did add a new ranking just underneath 40 friendly. Mind you, 40 friendly is, hey, this is good to go. If you have a 40% keyboard, you're squared away. And that's supposed to be kind of hard to get. I'm very critical of that one. But underneath that, it's pretty good. Where, hey, we're almost there, but not quite. Then, all right, still pretty good. 40 okay, there's an attempt that was made. And then not 40 friendly. So I know you love hearing me just wax on prophetic. But let's go ahead and get into our first keycap set, which is on apexkeyboards.ca. That sounds a little northern. And it is the ePBT Skadi. I am mispronouncing that. I've probably offended a lot of people. I should be sorry. So, first we're going to take a look here at this base kit. And this, I should say before I go too far, is going to be running from the 13th of October is when it started. And it's going to be going through the 9th of November. Now, let's see what we have here. And this is not, it's not blowing up. Okay, we'll work with that. Let me get my magnifying glass out here. What we have? So we have a 1.5 unit backspace. Okay, that's pretty standard. We have a 1 unit row 4 FN. So we have 1.5 unit alt control supers. We have double each of those. We have one unit control and 2 1 unit alts. Kind of odd that we only have one unit control and 2 1 unit alts, but okay, not a bad start here. Not a bad start, as well as a 1 1/4 shift. Okay, and since it's kind of following the GMK route, we also have a 1 unit delete for row 2, just in case you use that. Okay. Let's see what we... Okay, and we do have an Ortho 40 kit. Alright, just hovering over this. Okay, I think they're doubling up there on row 3, it looks like. With... Oh! Something finally zoomed in, we can see. Okay, so row 2, it looks like we also have an extra row 1 backspace. It's good to have. We have 1 unit escape, 1 unit tab, 1 unit backspace, and looks like, I believe that's a 2 unit backspace if my, let's see here, estimations are about right. What does that look like? No, actually, I believe that is a 1 3/4 backspace. Well, it's hard to tell with that code. Let's see. I'm moving with my fingers. Very scientific. Yeah, it's a 1.5. I'm going to assume that's a 1.5. I'm going to be wrong. Someone's going to call me on it. It's fine. Going down to row 2, we have another escape for you people that like to use default plank layout, but no 1 unit tab that can go there. We do have a 1 1/4, and we have a 1 unit inner, a 1 1/4 inner, 1.5 inner, and a 175 inner, as well as what looks like a 1.5 function key. Okay, we're working with that. Now, we had pretty good bottom row coverage for the base kit. So what we have here is we have 2 1 unit shifts, as well as a row 3 1 unit inner. Sorry, row 4 1 unit inner. Lock, don't know what I would use that for, but that's probably replacing a 175 shift in there, as well as lower and raise. I would like to see another FN, but it's not doing too bad. And we have, let's see here, we have a 2 unit space, a 225, and I'm assuming is a 275. No 1.75 unit space. That's a little disappointing. I'm going to knock it for that. Was doing pretty good until we got to that point. Let me just check here on the base kit one more time. Oh, it's so tiny. And what do we do for the shifts? Okay, so we got that 175 unit shift covered there as well. Okay, okay. So this one I'm gonna rate it's all right for 40%. We have some pretty decent coverage in there, but it's missing some key things like a 1 unit tab for row 3. It's missing a 175 space in there. That's an additional 25 Canadian dollars, which let me see here. I'm gonna do a quick calculation with that. So 25 beaver bucks. So that's about 19 bucks, $19 American. And the base kit is 120 Canadian, which comes out to be 91 freedom bucks. Okay. So we're going, let's see what. So we're looking at around $110 US for the base as well as the 40s kit for ePBT Skadi. Again, it's 40. It's all right as far as its coverage. Which all right's pretty good. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of layouts that are gonna be covered with this. However, probably gonna have to pick up that spacebar kit for another about $19, or potentially the novelties to maybe cover the novelties in case there's something you're missing on that bottom row and you're feeling a little festive. And again, this one is ending on the 9th of November. So next up, we have Infinikey Dark Cyrillic keycaps. I think I got that. Good job. Good job, Shifty. Okay, so let's go and take a look here at this core kit. I'm a little impressed with this. Now, we don't have a lot in the way of shifts. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go to row 2. We got the 1.5 unit backspace. Then for row 3, as usual with these type of kits, don't really have anything. Row 4, we have a 1.25 and a 175 unit shift. We have an FN key. For row 4, we got the 1.5 unit control alt, 2 1-unit supers on there, as well as a 2 and 25 unit and a 2 and 75 unit spacebar that are convex. Well, that's a little exciting. That is actually, you don't usually see that in the base kits. So that's going to be something that we're not going to need to have in a 40s kit on there. And just like the last Infinikey set we looked at, we do have an extension kit, and it's extensive for $45. And that core kit was $100. And this kit started on the 10th of November, and it's going to go through the 24th of November. So that's ending pretty soon. That's next week after, next Saturday. So looking at the extension kit, okay. So we have some more space bars in there. We have a 1.25, 175. 1.25 is kind of interesting. I think I've probably seen a keyboard with that. It just hasn't been committed to memory. 175, 2 units, as well as a 6 unit in there. And on row 2, we're looking at backspace, 1 unit, 175 unit, 2 unit, as well as that 1.5 unit we saw previously. A 1 unit tab, as well as 1 unit escape, and the X key. Again, not quite sure what that is. That might be a delete. Is that delete? I'm going to double check here on that core kit. Oh, they spell it out. It's probably really obvious what that actually is, and I'm just too simple-minded to realize. So row 3, we have a 1 unit inner. We have a 1.5 unit inner, as well as a 175 unit inner. We're pretty well covered there. 1 unit tab and 1/4 unit tab, as well as an escape key and a 1.25 unit FN key. That is nice to see. And then row 4, we have a 1 unit shift, as well as a 1 unit inner, a raise and lower, a lock on there, as well as a plus sign. Now, let me see here. So they had us with the shifts. Okay, so we have most of the common shifts covered. Though we only have one unit control of one unit alt on there. And that can be a little short on some kits. I know on my core thing, I fetishize way too much. That has 2 1-unit alts with that keycap set. Well, before I get too harsh, let's take another look here at the extension kit. Just make sure it's not being made up by anything else. Let's see. Again, I also would have liked to see a 1 unit on FN on row 4. Okay. So this, take another look. And again, you get all those command keys as well. That's nice to see. So if you want to use, if you're using like a Mac, or if you want to have that like be a placeholder for either an FN key or a menu key, you can do that. Let's see here. So this one's pretty close to being 40 friendly. It's right there on the cusp. And this one, I think I'm going to give it to it. I'm going to give it to it. We have enough options to fill in blanks as far as any potentially missing keycaps there, if you're comfortable putting in a command or an opt option for that keycap on the bottom. Again, I'm not a big fan of using raise and lower for the raise and lower keys. But this one, since it has so many of the keycaps covered, and it's really only kind of somewhat weak on the bottom row, I'm going to go ahead and give it, it's pretty good. I'm going to label it as pretty good. I'm not going to do a full 40 friendly with this one. It's pretty close. I like what I see in that base kit, where we already have some of the space bars taken care of. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. It's that second tier, and that's pretty much like, hey, you're going to be covered with your 40% keyboard with this particular keycap set. All right, now we're moving on to novel keys. We have a GMK set, Mudbeam. All right. I don't have a joke to go along with that, let alone a decent one. What is a Mudbeam? I should Google that, but having been on the internet, I am afraid to Google things with the word mud and beam in it. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the base. Now, usually GMK already has us taken care of with a few things. 1/2 unit backspace, 1 unit delete for row 2, 1 1/4 and 175 shift. We also have an FN key for row 4, and 1/2 unit control alt, double up on that. 2 1 unit supers. Almost said center there. I don't know what I'm thinking. As well as your usual 1 1/4s along the bottom row. Let's see here. And I'm assuming this is going to be row 4 for the 2 bottom rows. So if you're using a linear arrow setup for your bottom row, that should have you covered. As is pretty much kind of the standard now. And we have ergo kit, that's just blank ergo keys. So extension, I think, yeah, looks like that's going to be our 40 kit. I'm going to assume it starts with row 2. So assuming that, row 2 looks pretty good on that. Escape, tab, backspace, pretty standard. Probably like to see some additional backspaces in addition to that. But still, I mean, we'll cover probably 90% of keyboards. Third row. So third row, escape, tab, 1 1/4 tab, page up, and apostrophe. That's interesting. More the page up than the apostrophe. Then we have 2 1 unit enters for the accent, though I'm not seeing a yellow escape key. I don't think we had one in the base kit either. That was row 2. Okay. Probably have to eat it on having something that's a little off profile there. If that's what you're excited about, having those yellow accents, your escape might be a little wonky. Good thing to have a heads up on. As well as what appears to be 175 unit enters as well. So with shift, looks like, of course, we got 2 1 unit shifts. We have a 175, looks like a 225, and 2 1/2 unit super keys, control and alt. That goes along with the 1 unit control alt that we did not have in that. Okay. Yeah, okay, we got it. So we get 2 controls, 2 alts for the 1 unit control and alt. Raise, lower, we get 2 flavors of each one of those. We have 4th row enters as well as a page down. Go along with that page up. And looks like we have 2 unit backspace, 2 1 unit backspaces, both in that beige color as well as that accented color. And 275, 225, 175, and 1 1/4 backspaces. Again, we're short on an extra bottom row FN key. That's a personal thing I like to see. I'm gonna call this pretty good. This is pretty good for 40%. We have pretty decent coverage for most of the keyboards I tend to see out there. Bottom row is well covered with that extra control and alt in the 1 unit. That's something a lot of kits will drop. Now, it is a $65 kit for this extension. And adding that to the base is $135. So we're looking right at $200 before tax and shipping, everything else, for a 40% kit. Always good to keep that price in mind. And this kit is going from the 9th of October all the way to the 31st of October, the end of the month. So again, this one I'm gonna go ahead and call it 40 friendly. I'm gonna call it 40 friendly on this one. It's GMK set. Anything we're potentially missing can probably be made up in novelties, but this does have most of your necessary keycaps. Again, I would like to see an additional bottom row FN key, but you can always substitute the lowered raise in there. Now, again, not my preference, but it should have you. All right, and the next one we have is GMK Grand Prix. Got that one the first try. Just going to ignore the fact I cut out several attempts at that. And that one started on the 8th of October, and it's going to go through the 31st. And again, another GMK keycap set, so we're probably going to get a lot of things, or a couple of things knocked out with the base kit. So starting off here, we have 1/2 unit backspace, 1 unit row 2 delete. We have a 2 unit shift, as well as 175, and a 1 1/4 shift. We have your 1.5 unit control alt. We have 1 unit super, double up on those. 1 unit control, 1 unit alt. That's getting tongue twister territory. And we have a 40s kit. So let's take a look at that 40s kit. And the base kit is $125, so $10 cheaper than the Mudbeam kit. 40s kit is $10 cheaper than the Mudbeam. But let's see what we have. So looks like we have an addition of another, looks like a 175 backspace. I'm judging that off of 2 1 1/4 keys there. We have 2 escapes. At 1 is accented, 1 unit backspace. So if you're one of those people that like to use a row 2 tab, we don't have one here. Well, we do have backspaces, we do have escapes. We also have an addition of a larger backspace, 175. My best estimation on that. Then we have row 3 escapes, 1 unit tab, 1 1/4 unit tab, 1 1/4 unit enters in both flavors. Looks like 1.5 unit enter and 175 enter. Looks like we are missing a row 3 1 unit enter, which kind of puts me off. We do have the row 4 enter, which if you can live with having an enter key that is off profile, it's there. But I would have liked to see one that is a dedicated row 3 1 unit enter. Moving on to the 4th row, looks like we have a 1 unit shift. We're pretty good on shifts with this set as long as you're sticking with the row 4 shifts. And then we have those 1 unit enters, as well as that 175 lock. No raise and lower keys. No raise and lower keys on there. We do have 2 1 unit spaces in each color, and then looks like 175, 225, 275. I guess that's a 225. So that's 225, 175, and a 275, as well as a 1 1/4 spacebar. These 1 1/4s are popping up this month. I must have missed something. But again, more versatility is always a good thing. There's probably a 65% that uses that heavily. It's probably not going to be a 40% that uses that. Even though, now that I've said that, there's probably the one that everybody's waiting on. He's like, hey, you don't need to get any of these other 40%. Get this one. It's got a 1 1/4 unit back, or 1 1/4 unit spacebar. That's the thing. But again, happy to see it rather than not have it. However, like I mentioned, we don't have a raise and lower key on there. So we'd probably have to use 2 of those backspaces to cover those if we're just going with this kit. Which, if you're going just for the blue modifiers and the bluish gray alphas and spacebars, well, you've just kind of thrown off your aesthetic there a little bit. That's the way I would kind of run this. So that's going to be a huge knock against it there. Yeah, then we have a couple of 1-unit row 4 novelties that could be used in that raise and lowers place or additional FN keys place. So this one, I'm going to call it okay. It's 40 okay. There's a solid attempt there. There's a lot of coverage there. However, there's some key stuff that just is not covered in this kit. And really, if you're looking at a 40% keyboard that only uses one layer somehow, then this might be all right. However, I know a lot of us are out there, myself included, are running 2-layer, 3-layer, 4-layer for 40%. And I double up on one layer. I have one on the right-hand side on the outside column, and then one that's usually next to the left-hand spacebar. Those are usually the same, but so 40 okay, it's okay. It's not bad. Could be a lot better. Some things are good in there, but missed out on some other crucial things. Now we're going to be going over to the Kono store for GMK Retrocast. And GMK Retrocast started on the 6th of October and it's running through the 7th of November. And again, another GMK set. We're probably going to see the usual suspects here. You're going to maybe click on that, aren't you? Oh, it's going to make me click on it. Oh, goody. So, row 2, 1-unit delete. Row 2, 1.5 unit backspace. 175, 2-unit, and 225 shift, as well as a 1.25 shift. 150 control alt, as well as a 1-unit control 1-unit alt, as well as a 1-unit FN key. Okay, pretty normal for this type of set. And we do have a 40 set here. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to have to click on it again. Okay, row 2 looks good. Row 3 has a 1-unit inner on there, as well as it jumps up to a return for the 1.5, 175, or the 1.5 and 175 inners, as well as it gives you the accents for that, as well as the accents for the escape. Does have a 1-unit tab on row 2, no 1-unit tab on row 3. So that's going to exclude a lot of ortho and ergo keyboards in that case. However, your staggered 40s are usually going to be using that 1.25 tab. And in row 4, we have the row 4 inner, shift, lower and raise on there. Good shift coverage with this kit. And we have what you would want in the space bars. So I probably missed this on the previous kits. I would like to see two unit space bars on there, just because that's covered under the plank layout. But I'm not gonna knock any kit too hard for that. But that 1-unit tab, oh, I'm gonna knock it. So, I mean, you gave me a 1-unit inner, but you didn't give me a 1-unit tab. How much is this kit going for? So it's a $50 set on that, and this is $135. What we got? Oh, we got some row 3 novelties, so like we probably have to spend another $62 to get that covered. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure. So the base, we didn't have any row 3 1-unit tab. Okay, yeah, no 1-unit tab there. Again, someone watches this probably going, well, just use code. That'll sit in there. Yeah, but I don't like having to use that for a pretty common key. So this is going to be 40 okay. We're going to come down kind of hard on it. It's only okay. 40%. Rainy Day. Another Kono store set here, and that is going from the 6th of October to the 17th of November. So we got some time on this one. And let's take a look here at that base kit. I already think I figured out what my rating's going to be on it, but 1-unit, row 2 delete, 1.5 unit backspace. Shifts were pretty good, except we're missing that 1-unit. That's pretty normal for the base kit. FN, we got the controls, pretty standard fare here. And there's the problem. There is the problem. There's no 40 kit. So this kit is not 40 friendly, which I hate to say because I kind of like the novelties on this one. Those are kind of cool. And I kind of like the desk mats. I like these desk mats, especially this one. This one looks good, but I think that would actually annoy me if I was to use it. But the concrete, baby, yeah, that's not too bad. But unfortunately, GMK Rainy Day is not 40 friendly. And now we are on GMK Noire. I probably am getting my words mixed up, potentially. And that is on Project Keyboard. Project Keyboard. So let's see, and that one is going from the 4th of October to the 5th of November. And let's see here. Again, pretty standard for a base kit, except, now this is interesting. That didn't really zoom in at all, did it? Actually, I think it zoomed out a little bit. We have a 2-unit and a 2 1/4 unit spacebar. Okay, that's a little different there. That's a little different. Okay, we can live with that. But we don't have a 40 kit. That's going to kind of spell it out there. Oh, and I like those novelties. I really do like those novelties. Except they're all still in standard full-size keyboard spacing on there. It's like I couldn't even buy this to fill in the gaps in my 40s. That's a shame. So GMK Noire has. I like those. Yeah, this is actually kind of a cool set. It's a shame we don't have any 40 kits on there. I mean, shame on the person that spent months working on this and organizing all this, and not on us that probably didn't answer our interest check. But unfortunately, Project GMK Noire is not 40 friendly. Still kind of a cool set. I wish I had some keycaps that'd go with those novelties. And the last one for this episode of Is It 40 Friendly, we have SA Carbon on drop.com. I really wish it still said mass drop on there. And usually these are pretty good. These are normally pretty good. Both the SA keycaps as well as the keycap sets on drop.com. As long as there's an effort made for the 40s, usually we're pretty well covered. But let's actually take a look here at these guys. Before I forget, this started October 1st, and it's going to run through the end of the month, 31st. So alpha's $45. They are what they are. But we don't have any modifiers. We're going to skip the full modifiers and look at the 40 kit for $55, which, if that has us pretty well covered, what was that? That's a $90 kit. Don't look too closely at my math. $100? No, that's a $100 kit. That's a $100 kit. I went to college. I'm good at math. I have a degree in finance. Oh my god. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, so row 1, it's fine. Row 2, yes, we have the one you delete. We have tab, escape, backspace. We have an accent for the escape. For row 3, we have 1 1/4 tab, 1 1/2 return, 175 enter, return, what have you. The 1 unit enter, I would have preferred to have the return and enter say the same thing. However, knowing better, I'm looking at my SA laser keycaps right now, and I have ret. So take what you can get. As well as a 1 unit tab, thank you. As well as those escapes for people who prefer to have that row 3 escape. And if you want to have that apostrophe on the modifier side of things, I'm just going to kill the semicolon myself and move the apostrophe next to the L, as should have always been done in QWERTY. But you do have that option there. Options are good. Now we have row 4, we have function, we have shift, we have 175 shift, we have a 1/4 shift on there. We have a hack if you want to use something else for the function, if you just want func on there. You know I like the func. And if you need an additional key on there, you could probably shove that in there, as well as an up arrow if you are going for an inverted T shape for your arrow cluster, and a 1 unit enter. Okay, this is doing pretty good. And we have a row 3 function, control, super, alt, code, lower, raise, page up, page down. Missing an additional control and alt on there. Okay, so that I'm going to have to lower it a little bit on that, though it's a hard one to do, admittedly. But we got 1 1/4. We're missing 1 1/2 unit bottom row keys. And some of your 40% do use those 1 1/2 controls, alts, super menu in there. And looks like you would have to use lower and raise for your function keys. Well, no, I guess no. Actually, I could use hack. Okay, okay. We're doing pretty good on the bottom row. We're missing the extra control and alt, and you are limited to the gray space bars. Now, I like the longer space bars. Oh, and they give you two 175s, two 2 units, as well as a 225 and a 275. But they're the dark gray, not beige. And normally, your colorways, your space bars are matching your alphas. So that means we're going to have to spend another... Oh, where we got? Oh! They don't specify it. I do like the comb pattern in there. Let's go and shoot all the way up there. It doesn't let me select off that. Okay, so we're going to spend some more money on beige keycaps, and it only gives you one unit spacebar on there. So close. So close on this one. This is almost 40 friendly. It's probably one of the best keycap sets as far as value and coverage as far as 40% keyboards go. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and call it 40 friendly. I'm going to call this one 40 friendly because for $100, you're getting the alphas, you're getting pretty much pretty decent coverage on there. I'd have to get creative with the second alt on my core. Because again, that does have two 1-unit alts on there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call this one 40 friendly on this one. Just because, given the price and the coverage you get with that 40 kit set, and usually, yeah, Carbon has pretty good novelties along with it as well. Make that work, $34 for novelties. Okay. They give you the salt with it, though. They know. They know what's happening with that. So this one, I'm gonna be kind of contradictory. I'm gonna be a little bit of a hypocrite. I'm gonna go ahead and call this 40 friendly. On this one, I might even pick this one up. I'm gonna think about it for a little while. Because again, for $100, you get pretty much everything, and you have enough extra keys in that 40 kit to kind of fudge the extra control and alt if you need to. But again, you're also missing the 1.5 units on the bottom row. But again, given the price, I'm going to go ahead and call it 40 friendly. I'm probably going to regret doing that. And I also don't think that these space bars are a very good deal just because they only give you one unit on there. And a 1 1/4. Well, that guy's popping up all over the place. I probably would have preferred a 1 and just a 1 unit space bar on there, but okay. That's probably going to make a lot more sense here in the following months when everybody's keyboard 60, 65, 40%, 30% has that 1 1/4 space bar on there. I'm going to be eating my words on that. That little devil. That's probably why we don't have an additional 1 unit space on there. Same thing with the gray keycaps. So that is it for the second episode of Is It 40 Friendly? I really hope you did enjoy this video. You got something out of it. Maybe in this cold, lonely world, you feel a little less isolated, knowing that others are suffering just as you do, searching for the same things you are. Maybe more warmth, maybe more community can enter into your heart. Make this world a slightly better place. And make sure to comment, like, and so you don't miss the next one, subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Oh, my cheeks hurt. This is smiling too hard. Oh, God.